It's hard to believe, but one day there will be remakes of every single Disney movie that's coming out right now. It's just a matter of time. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. So today we're doing a tier list ranking of all the Disney live-action remakes we've seen. Now, we haven't seen all of them. There are a lot out there with bad reputations. So, we are not watching those movies. Cam has actually probably seen more than me, so there's some movies on this list where she's just going to have her input. But the reason for this video is that Little Mermaid just came out. Might be high on this list, might be low on this list. You guys have to stick around to find out. But before we get into this thing, be sure to hit that like button. Comment down below your favorite Disney live-action remake, as well as the tiers you would place them in. And without further ado, let's dive right into this tier list. Alright, so the tiers we have today are best of the best, great, solid, meh, and bad. These are the tiers I always use here on the channel. The movies are randomized, and again, these are only the ones we've seen. So before you go commenting, where's this, where's this? We haven't seen it if it's not on this list. So let's do this thing starting with The Lion King.
Bad.
Yeah. I'm putting it there. I have like an issue with this movie. Damn near a vendetta, I would say.
And this is a big deal to you because The Lion King is like your favorite Disney movie.
Yeah, it's my favorite Disney, and it's my favorite pure animated movie of all time.
Really?
Yes. Over any Pixar movie. Like, this movie means the world to me.
Our first date was to go see The Lion King.
Way back in the day.
In the 6th grade.
The 3D version.
When we dated for the first time,
Yeah.
he took me to go see The Lion King in 3D.
I did.
And we went with his mother.
Yeah.
It was a really fun time.
It was, wasn't it?
That was my first date ever.
It was fun. It's technically live action, but it's hyper-realistic CG animation. It's technically categorized as an animated movie, but it falls in this category because it looks like real-life animals. And that's to a fault, because the charm of the original Lion King is these lovable, cute animals, and all the emotion is fully stripped from this movie. None of the musical numbers hit remotely close to the original, and it's lifeless. That's how I felt about this movie.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I feel like for The Lion King, they prioritized getting big stars as voice actors instead of getting good voice actors. I love Beyonce. Love her to death. Love her music. Did she need to be a voice actor for this movie? I don't know. There could have been somebody that could have brought a lot more soul and charm to a character. I
totally see what you mean. Like, the music was a miss. The visuals were the only stunning part of the film, but aside from that, it lacked any of the charm. Yes, it's the same story beats, but it plays out like a bored remake with no literally, emotion. This is the one Disney live-action remake with nothing new added, except like one little scene. So, never gonna watch this movie again. Moving on, though, we've got Cinderella. I've never fully seen
He's seen like half of it. I've seen this movie many a time. I love Cinderella, and I love Richard Madden, and I love Lily James. This is a good example of a live-action remake where they change a bit of the story, they really add to the character of the prince, and
they make them an actual person instead of just a face like in the animated one.
And they were also able to make this movie a great movie, and they didn't do the music, which we see as a bad thing in some live-action remakes where they don't do the music and it's like, okay, this is boring. What am I watching? But they didn't do any of like the Cinderella songs, but it was still amazing. The dress, beautiful, costuming, beautiful, all of it. I personally want to put it in best of the best.
Best of the best.
It's really good. I love it. I'll put it in great just for you.
Just because I haven't seen it, I'm like, I know you have free reign.
We'll average it out.
Okay, fair. Again, it could be one of the best. Let us know what you think of it down below. Next, we've got another movie I haven't seen. The second Alice in Wonderland, called Alice Through the Looking Glass. Do you remember much about this movie?
I remember watching it because I was confused at the time why there was a second one.
The reason I ask is because if you can't remember much of the film, that means that the highest it can probably go is meh.
I also remember it not being good.
Okay, yeah.
So it is meh for sure.
Meh? So it's not bad, but meh. Because, okay, Johnny Depp's in it.
Anne Hathaway's in it. So the cast is good.
I'll go meh.
I can't remember too much of it, which I think, like you said, is
probably a telltale that it's not.
I remember the first one more than I remember the second one, and I haven't watched them in a while, so that says a lot.
So now we've got the one you all came to hear us talk about, the Little Mermaid live-action remake. We just saw this yesterday in theaters. Check out our review linked up above. This movie rules, and I went in with like low expectations because of the track record of Disney live-action remakes. It blew me away. I mean, visually speaking, whether the scene was underwater or on land, stunning. Halle Bailey, 8. She owned this role. And my favorite part of this film is that they added so much depth to the relationship. The core of the film is Prince Eric and Ariel's relationship.
That's when live-action movies are good.
Yeah, it felt like they were falling in love. In the original film, it feels forced, and it's just like, oh, here you go. Wash my hands of it. And the new one, fully fleshed out. The kiss the girl scene, the market scene. Yeah.
They gave more to them falling in love than just liking each other based on their looks. Yes. They talked, they bonded. Yes. They're great. Best of the best. Best
of the best for sure, and I think that it's a contender for the outright top spot. We'll place another one, at least, that I'm looking at right here in that category. That'll be a debate we have. But for right now, Little Mermaid, in terms of what we've gone through on this list, it's at the top, and if you guys haven't seen it or hesitant about seeing it, I highly recommend it. It is wonderful. It brings back all the music from the original film, but has some Lin-Manuel Miranda spice in there as well.
And one of the best new Disney songs ever.
Wild Uncharted Waters.
Yeah.
There you have it. So next we've got Maleficent, which I've seen.
Is this the first one that I'm looking at?
This is the first Maleficent. I've seen this movie, and
You
I was like, it was all right. The highest I can go with this is solid. So it's solid or mad for me. I think that we deserve an outright Sleeping Beauty remake as opposed to what we got here. Angelina Jolie, great. Movie's not very memorable.
I really like this. I like Angelina Jolie and I like Maleficent. I also agree that we deserve a live action remake of Sleeping Beauty, like the actual story, because imagine a world where we get a live action remake and we get so much more between Aurora and Philip. I would be so happy.
I think it's above Alice Through the Looking Glass.
It for sure
But
is.
like maybe top of mass, solid at best. Solid.
No, it's definitely
It's
solid.
not a great movie.
I'm between back end of great or front of solid.
We'll go solid with it then, yeah. Just because of the performance, you know.
We've got one in every row.
Yeah, we do. Rare that it starts that way. Next, we got The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Have you seen this one?
Not.
So I have free reign here. This is a movie I really enjoyed when it came out back in the day. Yeah, this is like a childhood type movie. It's actually from the same director as the National Treasure films. Alfred Molina plays the villain here. Jay Baruchel is the main character. It's a take on Fantasia. Nick Cage is in the film. Yeah, there he is on the poster.
Does the director
right there,
only
so.
cast?
Guess so. Yeah, this is a fun time. You know, it's got some cool fantasy elements. The way they do the iconic Fantasia scene with like the mop and all the cleaning up. That's really well done. I'd go solid. Yeah. Okay. I need to rewatch this one. It's been damn near over a decade now. We'll put Maleficent above it just because you haven't seen this one. That seems fair. But if I were to watch them back to back, it'd be an interesting comparison for sure. What do you guys think of Sorcerer's Apprentice if you've even seen it? Feels like one of those weird remakes because it's like not. It's like a retelling. I don't know. Anyway, we've got Beauty and the Beast next. This is a top 3, maybe top 2, maybe top 1 live action remake.
It depends on who you ask about this movie. A lot of people have gripes with it because of Emma Watson singing. I think she sounds fine.
I don't hate those gripes. They always irritate me. People are like, she's auto-tuned.
Like, it's too much auto-tune. I'm like, I don't really hear it. When I sing it in my car, in my head, I sound like what it sounds like, so I'm like, how much auto-tune can there really be? I love the movie. I really do. I love the costuming. It's all so beautiful.
Best casting of a live-action Disney movie, I would say yes. Live-action remake. Belle, the Beast even, Gaston and LeFou, perfection.
Oh, yeah.
Ewan McGregor is Lumiere. I mean, Cogsworth, Ian McKellen. Across the board, this has the best cast.
Definitely has the best cast. I also think that Emma Watson as Belle, regardless of whether or not you think she can or can't sing, I don't care. Just looking at Belle and how Belle acts as a princess and looking at Emma Watson, I think that she is the best casting for a princess out of any live-action remake.
I will agree with that. She embodies what Belle should be in live-action form and kills it. This movie's best of the best. Now, I think we have to go above Little Mermaid right now just because Little Mermaid just came out, but it's tough. It's tough.
I'm always putting on Beauty and the Beast, whether I'm in the car. Dude, the mob song.
They're top 2. How about this?
So good.
I'll put it right above Little Mermaid, but these are literally almost a tie.
Can they tie? Yeah, they're tied.
Evermore versus Wild Uncharted Waters.
They're like brothers to me.
Evermore, though, come on.
Evermore by Josh Groban.
Ooh, now we're talking. Next, we've got Christopher Robin, Ewan McGregor, and another Disney live-action remake. This movie was solid. I remember parts of it. Wasn't something that really like stuck out to me in a crowd of Disney live-action remakes. I love Ewan McGregor, and it was cool to see Pooh and everything. Yeah, it was a sweet movie. You know?
I'd say top of solid.
Okay, we can do that. I want to rewatch this one. It's been way too long. We saw it in theaters, and
I'd probably can.
you probably would the whole time. Yeah. Next is Alice in Wonderland. I actually haven't seen this one. I know. I need to watch it.
He needs to. He also hasn't seen the original.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the original either for whatever reason. So, what are you thinking? This is like the one that started this whole resurgence of these remakes. So
it is a great movie. I think Johnny Depp is fantastic. Anne Hathaway's fantastic. All of it is just so good. It's a very visually pleasing movie.
Helena Bonham Carter
is the Queen of Hearts. It's a great cast.
Is it better than Cinderella?
No.
So we're putting it behind Cinderella.
Yes.
Great. Okay, cool.
But they're very different vibes because Alice in Wonderland's not a princess.
So it's a Tim Burton almost trippy acid ride.
It depends on what mood you're in for. Like a love story about princess, or do you want to watch like a
bit of a darker movie?
Yeah, a little trippy little movie.
One day I'll be in the mood to watch it. That is not today, though. Then we've got The Jungle Book. This is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah, I've seen it maybe once.
The Jungle Book's going to best of the best, but it's going at the back. I think these two are just better magical Disney stories. The Jungle Book, the original film's childhood to me. This remake's Jon Favreau's directing, so shout out Jon Favreau. This is what kind of inspired The Lion King in terms of visual effects, because I think the visuals in The Jungle Book are better than The Lion King. Incredible, the fact that this kid, he plays Mowgli, and he is the only like person on set. The actual ground, there's nothing real about this movie. It's all from a computer, and that technology, mind-blowing stuff. I loved the fact that they captured the songs from the original film. Bill Murray as Baloo was a highlight for me, and all around, this movie just took the original Jungle Book lore, expanded upon it, and made it even more epic. Like the whole final showdown with Shere Khan, way more epic than I could have ever imagined. It is definitely a top 3 Disney live-action remake. These 3 solidly at the top.
For him. For me, I would watch Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland over it any day.
That's
but
fair.
also, I feel like stereotypically, I think girls lean more towards the princess movies and boys would lean more towards the animal movies, which is why you like the Jungle Book and the original Lion King like so much. They weren't necessarily my favorite things growing up.
Next, we've got Maleficent 2, which is called Mistress of Evil. This cannot go above the first Maleficent, so is it bad? Bad or meh?
Meh, but top of meh. It's better than Alice Through the Looking Glass for sure.
Okay, fair. We're gonna put it right here then, and I haven't seen this, so I have nothing to say, and it seems as though rehash of the first, kinda.
The first one is really good to me. Like, I do enjoy it every once in a while. The meh category so far is just forgettable movies.
Last is Cruella, which I totally forgot was on this list. Cruella over the Jungle Book for me.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Cruella over the Jungle Book. Dare I say...
No, not above those 2.
Here's why. It's not a live-action remake. It's more of a live-action reimagining prequel of Cruella's backstory. So it can't go at the top as a pure remake. I'll put it right here.
To compare.
Emma Stone should have been nominated for an Oscar.
She's so good.
The costume design, splendid. Paul Walter Hauser.
Did the costume designing win an Oscar?
He got nominated. I don't know if it won.
I think it did not win, and I was mad about it.
Yeah, but Paul Walter Hauser kills it here. I mean, everyone in this movie knew their assignment.
Emma Stone ate real good.
And that soundtrack?
So good.
So good. I mean, bop after bop. I forget that in terms of like all-time awesome soundtracks. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And the movie had some twists and turns I didn't see coming. Really made us understand Cruella's downfall in a way and why she became so evil going into 101 Dalmatians. I hope we do get a sequel that is sort of the straight up, here's a 101 Dalmatians remake.
It's kind of the same idea of, I think, what they were trying to do with Maleficent, where they're kind of explaining why she is evil the way she is, which I do like. That's something I like about Maleficent, but I think Cruella did it in a much more fun, capturing way.
Yeah, stylistically, Craig Gillespie directed it, who did Tanya as well, and Pam and Tommy.
Love him.
The only thing missing from this movie was Sebastian Stan.
Yep.
So, there you have it.
He was probably busy. I would love it if Sebastian Stan was like the other dog capture with
That would have
Paul
been
Walter.
amazing.
That would have been so much fun. He probably would have, but he might have been busy.
But that does it for our tier list of these Disney live-action remakes we've seen. Again, movies like Mulan, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, and Wendy, we haven't watched those, so they're not on this list. But where would you place these films in the categories? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of future videos like this. Check out Cam, all of our social media stuff is linked down below.
And let Chris know if he should watch Alice in Wonderland.
Let me know. Yeah, which ones of these that I haven't seen should I watch first? Till next time. See you guys later.